Today I learned a little bit about Python, and I learned how I can basically create servers with Python. So a pretty special video today. Basically what I'm doing here, I'm using Socket, and using Socket, which is basically the Python library for servers or for using the use of internet in general. I have created a server today which can take in and of course send responses. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Well, I needed two different codes. Again, it's to connect here. I have the server and the client. The server is where the process is created basically, and the client is where I connect with my server. So here is where the server is created. Here is where I interact with the server. So let me explain. Let's actually run the code here. I need to run two different programs here. So I need to run the server and then I need to run client here. So I will do that. So I need to type something here that's actually going on. So one is just the server, it's running and it's waiting client, and here in the client I need to type something. Let's type something. Exactly. Let's type something. So I type something and I send it to them. And then they say, okay, I received or client, which is means hello client. And in my server part, I receive well my something. And it's very interesting really. Because though they are running, are different codes. They are not connected in any way besides of course the server that I'm creating here. Now let's explain exactly what I'm doing. Let's start by the server itself, because it's much easier to explain this and then the client than to explain the client than this. Basically I'm using the socket. For overview, basically here I'm using the socket, and by it I'm waiting for a response, and when I get a response I always print Ola glitch. Now how I do this? First line of code, I need to import from the socket library, because I need from socket to import this. I think it's not hashtag. I don't know exactly remember the name. I think it's asterisk. Sorry, I forgot this part. But I need to import this from my library, and then I begin my variable creations. First, I create the specifications of my server, which is the server IP address, and of course the door, or yes, the port of the door I'm using to connect to the server. And then I create some objects slash sockets, which is where I will be connecting to my computer, to my client here. So first I'm defining the object socket. A socket afnet sockstring. From what I understand here is basically creating the server. Now I will do some things. I will modify a bit. I'm defining that object dot bind. I'm binding here the server and the door. So here I'm just defining that my server will be created with this direct IP and this door to open this pin. Basically the door what I'm talking about, because it's in Portuguese. I'm not sure how the English is, but it's basically the pin I need as pin I need to connect, the numbers I need to use to connect, basically the password almost. And of course I have object listing 2. Now I'm not sure exactly why 2, probably because it will listen here is getting the information out, so I'm trying to get the information from my client here. And here I will print waiting client, because I need the waiting for client. As you can see, I won't print anymore, but you can see the first time if I reset code it will print again. But wrong code here, it will wait client with my input here and my input from the client. So I had it here waiting, and while my statement is true, then it will basically here when that means when my when I connect with my other code with the client, it will well accept the interest of my client, and then it will connect it with and then say the name of the client. The name of the client will be basically my IP address from the client. So if I again test it out and I run this, so let's say I type okay, I will receive here connected with, and this is my other code. Basically it has the same IP, but it has a different, sorry, but it has a different key. Basically, as you can see here, though it has the same IP as the other one, has a different key, which is well different enough for Python to consider it. So I received here, you can see here, I connected, I take the information of the client, which is very interesting part. And again I will run, and again when this happens, what to see if I receive a message, which it definitely has, because it's the only way I'm connecting via the client here, and it will take this message and pretty much print it out. It'll take the message, turn it to a string, and then it will print out to me here. That's why it says received. And then it will just this B. I'm not sure exactly what this B does, but it's definitely very important. For what I understand, this B basically means it's from the connection, or I'm saving the connection pretty much. So I'm saving this. That's my message, which I send to my client, which is hello client. And then I just do a con.send, which is I sending the message. Here I'm defining that the MS, the send the MES or the send message is equal to hello client, and here I'm sending it. Definitely. Here I break the code. That means I just stop it, and then I close my loop, which closes here. It means that it will still be here, just waiting more inputs, just waiting more messages. So that's here the part of the server. Let's look at the part of the client. Again, I'm importing the asterisk from the socket. So again, I need this to connect to server. And I'm defining the information in the server via variables. First, of course, I am making the IP, which is identical, and the door, which is also identical, which is interesting because I said the door here was different. Well, it's not different here because here I'm just defining the information from the server. If I connect it with this information, like let's say beforehand, or I have a mutual database, and because my IP address and my key, my door is always moving, is always changing basically, then I can, for example, take this and this itself be a variable. So though it wouldn't be needed because, well, if it's already a variable, then you don't need to create a variable of a variable to express the variable of the first one. But still, here I'm defining the message equals byte input. I'm not sure why the bytes part, but it pretty much says that equals to the input of, well, what it asks here. You can see it asks to type something, which is what I did. And I'm not sure again the UTF part, probably defining some feature of this message, maybe the cryptograph. Anyway, here you can see now from the object, my object socket equals to socket and AFINet socket string, and I'm thinking this is the part where I define where to connect it specifically, or sorry, I define that I want to connect with something by this way specifically, and then I run my object socket dot connect. Basically, here is where everything connects to each other. I define my servidor and my key here. As you can see, servidor important is pretty much servidor and key, or door in this case, and I'm connecting with these specifications again with this IP and with this key. I'm connecting with it. And by connecting with it, I will try to send a message. Now this message is what I define here, which is my input. After sending this message, I will receive a response. Now my response is, well, what they send me. That's exactly what happens. Is what they send me here. And then I will print my response, which is what they sent. And then I will just close my code basically here. And you can see here, from what I received is exactly what the server tried to send me, which is the Ola glitch. So you can see, and well, I think it's very interesting indeed, because you're pretty much creating an instant messenger, but much more primitive, which I find very interesting. Not because it's a messenger by being a messenger, but how it works. Probably modern, let's say, probably modern, probably not. They definitely work different than this. Maybe not fundamentally, but definitely there's a lot of extra steps and refining along the way, like cryptography and whatnot. But well, you can see that definitely it has something very interesting. And well, the most important thing here is that I have a direct connection with my code. For example, I don't know if that's how it works, but let's suppose that it's this type of code that allows me to connect to a server. Then I will create what is equivalent to a Discord group, but with directly connected computers. I think that's how many programs like TeamViewer, which helps you maybe control each other's computer or help to see each other's computer. Maybe Meet, for example. Google Meet could have a code not similar per se, but with the same principle. I'm connecting to a key in a specific IP, and with this connection, I will send my message. My message won't be an input this way, but it will be a direct live stream basically of the person, not recording, but still a live stream. So it's very interesting here. And now by this connection, well, I have a lot of things I could do. I could have, for example, a data bank in the cloud and have my computers connect to it and remove information, track some information, or update its information. Again, this goes to the altering files. If you have a cloud and you have a file inside the cloud, you can always go there and alter and read it and create another to store additional information or whatnot. But yeah, that was it. Not so short. Again, it's two codes, not one. But if you like more, if you want to see more Python, if you want to see more of these things, after all, there's a bit of code that you just understand from the last my classes. So, well, feel free to watch all of them. I have a playlist, and we are in episode, I think 21. So you quite missed a lot, really. But you can always check it out. Many of the videos are short, and I explain a lot about Python since my absolute beginning until now, which is my absolute beginning. There hasn't been actually too many times actually, which is interesting. But well, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, not just check out the other videos, but also subscribe and leave a like. It helps a lot at the channel, and you will get notifications from my when my videos come out. My upload schedule will probably be more consistent and a bit earlier because for a month, because I'm getting into no, it's not summer here, but we are getting into our first vacation on the school. So, well, very interesting stuff indeed. So I probably upload more earlier because I have more time. So definitely interesting indeed. So check out for that. But besides that, well, I see you not tomorrow, but well, in Sunday. So I hope you have a great weekend. That's it. Goodbye. Ooh.